Good morning. Today, 20th July 2024, we are going to discuss the editorials of Business Standard. The article here, Blue Screens of Death that impacted Microsoft industry. We are going to discuss this article in detail. Recently, there was a worldwide tech outage that crippled industries from travel to finance. So their services were affected, and then it took a lot of time to bring back into online system, and it impacted and highlighted the risk of global shift towards digital and interconnected technology. As the world more and more dependent upon these digital and interconnected technologies, so there is a dire need how this system impacted many of the industries. So we are just counting here very few, but there are going to report many of the things. The software firm CrowdStrike, it was updating their software, and then updation triggered some problem and it caused huge issues. CrowdStrike CEO told on social media that they are current host for Windows software of Microsoft. So their software update CrowdStrike जो है CrowdStrike software updated affected Microsoft, and then it impacted each and everyone. However, companies and institutions began restoring their regular services, but it may take some time. And then many of the experts told this is very unfortunate illustration how fragility of the world at internet infrastructure. The disruption to internet is affecting all the industries. So they are impacted very heavily. So this world is interconnected. The digital technology is connecting. So it impacts each and everyone. So how the disruption has caused? So disruption affected major lines, US airlines, American Airlines, Delta Airline, and United Airlines. Their support staff caused huge delays and disruption. The banking services from India, Australia, and Germany, they warned their customers of the disruption, and then it delayed their services. CrowdStrike told Falcon sensor software is causing Microsoft Windows to crash. Microsoft Microsoft is one company. Microsoft may, to prevent cyber attack and all, they have had an agreement with CrowdStrike. So this CrowdStrike provides malware software to prevent Microsoft from being attacked. However, this CrowdStrike started updating their software, and then it immediately impacted Microsoft, and then Microsoft displayed blue screen. So Microsoft, as you are aware, it provides services to many of the industries. Even many of the organization uses their mail services such as Outlook, and then the airline uses their ticketing services, everything through Microsoft. So when this Microsoft was delayed, this caused huge issues. You can see Britain banking system was also affected, not to mention global stock market. Stock market went business as usual. However, a lot of reports have mentioned about how the software industry affected uh, stock exchange also. When it comes to football also affected. Manchester United updated there is a delay in their ticketing system. So you can see many of the industries, airports and government agencies, and then many more companies from Dubai International Airport. US Transportation Secretary also told something about how to resolve and then how to get back the system. LESG group, LSEG group जो है, this was also impacted. The industry experts or now they are studying the impact of the CrowdStrike. So the software had a bug, and then they are studying about how this could impact in the future. It is a blessing in disguise. So it is an opportunity to bring back our system. The world is interconnected, so we need to see that these cyber attacks or these should be taken care at greater need. When we talk about cyber meltdown, so when we talk why it caused cyber meltdown, what is this CrowdStrike? So CrowdStrike, as we discussed, it is a cloud based security solutions to business. So for example, here I have Microsoft. This is Microsoft. So Microsoft, we have CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, what it does? So Microsoft is a very big organization. They have outsourced their operation to CrowdStrike for maintaining its the system's integrity. That means against potential malware. You might have seen malware, trojanware. There are many such viruses are there. So against them, they have impacted to CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is one best organization, so they provide cloud-based security solutions. This it's Falcon tool. Falcon is one tool that identifies the unusual behavior and vulnerable to protect the computer system from threats of the malware. So CrowdStrike was founded in 2011 and based in Austin, Texas, United States. It operates in almost 170 countries. You can understand how powerful this software is. 170 countries. So the disruption caused by CrowdStrike would have impacted 170 countries. US itself accounted for nearly 70%, more than 900 million revenues. 900 million revenues. World tech giants, world's tech giants such as Alphabet, Amazon, Intel are its customers. It has around some 29,000 uh, customers across the world, and then it spans across the various clients: Red Giant, Formula One car racing system, US government, as you have seen, banking is there, financial services are there, and then crude oil services are there. If you name the sector, and even stock market also, stock market, many of the firms might have linked to Microsoft, so that also had impacted. Shares of CrowdStrike turned tumbled. See, CrowdStrike share भी tumble हो गए. Instead of the CrowdStrike, there are many other organizations who had lost their shares to great extent. So this CrowdStrike, what had really happened? They were updating their software, Falcon sensor. It had caused Microsoft platform to crash. This crashing affected various customers. How it had happened? To protect the computer networks from being breached by hackers, businesses use a cybersecurity product known as endpoint detection response, EDR बोलते हैं. Endpoint detection response. This endpoint detection response was provided by CrowdStrike to Microsoft. Microsoft uses this endpoint detection response as early warning system for potential digital attacks, scan the viruses, and prevent hackers from gaining unauthorized access into corporate networks. So this time, CrowdStrike's code is conflicting with Microsoft and then caused crash of Microsoft portal, and then it displayed the blue portal across the world. There are, as we have discussed, who has been impacted: Spanish airport, US Airlines, Indian Airlines, American media and banks, then news of the Britain, Sky News. Even they delayed the news. In Indira Gandhi International Airport Terminal 2, they also faced a huge issue. Microsoft uses telemetry services. This telemetry services indicated it impacted Microsoft 365 apps. Their Azure cloud also had been impacted, and then CrowdStrike after that released their sorry note for impact of the system, and then they told they are correcting the system. Everything everywhere. If you see England National Health Services, FedEx impact ho gaya, Britain Sky Services, airlines across the world as we discussed, and Paris Olympic Organization Committee also had been impacted.